When people think about AI, they often picture something visible: a chatbot answering questions, an image generator creating art, or a voice assistant responding out loud. But many of the most impactful AI systems don't look like that, and most people never interact with them directly. What shapes everyday decisions, outcomes, and constraints is often a hidden layer of AI, quiet systems operating in the background, influencing what happens long before a human ever notices. The visible side of AI is easy to recognize because it feels personal. You type a prompt, you get a response. There's a clear interaction. The hidden layer works differently. It doesn't speak to users or announce its presence. It operates inside processes, institutions, and infrastructures, often far from where decisions are actually felt. This is where much of AI's influence accumulates. Consider how information is prioritized online. Recommendation systems decide which posts surface, which videos are suggested, and which voices gain reach. Most users never see the model itself. They only see the outcomes, what appears relevant, popular, or urgent. The AI isn't creating content, it's shaping attention. That distinction matters because in many contexts, influence over attention can matter as much as the content itself. A similar pattern appears in logistics and supply chains. AI systems forecast demand, optimize routes, and allocate inventory. These tools rarely appear in public-facing products, but they affect what's available, how fast it arrives, and how resilient systems are under stress. When something goes missing or gets delayed, the cause is rarely obvious. The decision logic often lives several layers below the surface. In finance, AI models assess risk, flag transactions, and guide trading strategies. Most customers never see these systems, yet they can affect credit approvals, fraud investigations, and broader market behavior. Here again, the visible interaction, a declined payment or a delayed transfer, is only the final output of a deeper system. The AI doesn't surface its reasoning. It produces an outcome. This hidden layer is powerful precisely because it's embedded. Once integrated into workflows, AI systems quietly shape defaults, thresholds, and priorities. Over time, these defaults become normal. Decisions feel automatic. Human oversight becomes selective rather than constant. This is not inherently negative. In many cases, automation reduces errors, speeds up processes, and handles complexity that humans struggle to manage. But it does mean that influence shifts away from visible moments and toward less visible structures. One common counterargument is that these systems are still designed, deployed, and overseen by humans. That's true. AI does not operate independently of organizational choices. However, once systems scale, oversight often becomes indirect. Humans review summaries, metrics, and exceptions. They don't review every individual decision. That trade-off enables efficiency, but it also creates distance. As systems become more abstract, subtle biases or unintended effects can become harder to notice. Another concern often raised is over-reliance. When hidden AI systems perform well most of the time, organizations may question their outputs less frequently. Human judgment can shift from active decision-making to passive validation. This doesn't remove humans from the loop, but it changes their role. Instead of asking, "What should we do?" the question becomes, "Does this look wrong?" That shift can be efficient. It can also narrow the space for alternative thinking. It's also worth noting that visibility can be misleading. Highly visible AI tools tend to attract public scrutiny, regulation, and debate. Less visible systems often evolve more quietly. As a result, the AI that shapes incentives, rankings, and constraints may receive less attention than tools that generate text or images, even when its impact is broader. This imbalance influences how risks are discussed and where safeguards are applied. Understanding this hidden layer doesn't require technical expertise. It requires asking different questions. Instead of asking what AI can do, it helps to ask where decisions are being automated. Instead of focusing on interfaces, it's useful to look at workflows. Who sets the thresholds? Who reviews the outputs? What happens when the system is wrong, and how often is that visible? These questions help reveal influence that doesn't announce itself. None of this implies that hidden AI systems are inherently dangerous or uncontrollable. Many are well designed, carefully monitored, and genuinely beneficial. But their quiet nature means their effects often accumulate gradually. Small optimizations compound, defaults harden into norms. By the time outcomes feel obvious, the systems behind them may already be deeply embedded. The future impact of AI is likely to depend less on the tools people interact with directly, and more on the invisible layers that structure decisions at scale. Paying attention to those layers doesn't require fear or hype. It requires awareness. Because some of the most consequential changes are not the ones that draw attention, but the ones that quietly reshape how choices are made, long before anyone notices.